All right, all right. I am going to let some more folks in the room. I'm going to play some music and I will return and we will get started with our class. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. I had to make sure that we are streaming on all platforms. I was actually streaming from another channel and not the current channel, so that was my mistake. So, again, welcome. Welcome, teacher besties, teacher friends, educators, education professionals. Welcome to the official class of Teach Outside the Box. I am your educator's favorite educator, Miss Tiffany McDonald, certified middle school ELA teacher, teachers, pay teachers, author, curriculum writer, and designer, and the CEO and founder of Teach Incorporated, where I am dedicated to helping thriving educators achieve classroom harmony and success. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are just now joining Teach Outside the Box in our first back to school series, it's all in the syllabus. Make sure you introduce yourself in the comments with your name, where you are teaching from. City and state is fine. If you want to put your school, go right ahead. We definitely want to network and connect. Make sure you let us know what grade and subject you are teaching. And tell me, what is the best thing about teaching? A little bit about me. Oh, before I get there, if you have not registered for this class, please make sure you click the link in the comments because you want to make sure that you register for this class to get your freebie at the end of the class. If you have not registered for the class, you have to make sure you register so you can get your freebie, which will be the course notes, a sample class syllabus that I created for my students, as well as a class syllabus template. A little bit about me before we get started. Please forgive me. It is extremely hot. So if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, it is definitely summertime in on this Friday of August. So a little bit about me. I have been in education for over 19 years. Started in 2003 when I finished up my Bachelor's of Science degree from Kent State University in Family Life Education. Went on to pursue my master's in teaching and learning with technology from Ashford University online. Then I am now studying educational leadership at North Central University. Previously attended Grand Canyon University and just switched over to North Central. I have done all facets of education, child care development, special education, after school programming, Head Start, parent involvement, family engagement, grant writing, management, and now into teaching. I've been teaching for over 7 years, starting in 2007, 2008, I believe. It's been so long, I can't remember. And this is going into my seventh year as a middle school ELA teacher, grades 4 through 9. Soon to be transferring over to possibly high school very soon, just to kind of expand my reach. So I love all things education. I started Teach Incorporated. Actually, I started it under Keys to Success Incorporated back in March of 2017 because I wanted to provide the keys, the tools, the strategies to parents and families to help them obtain success for their students. Over the last few years during this pandemic time, I realized that my love and my heart goes out to all of the teachers, all of the educators. We have a very hard job, y'all. We have a very hard job. And it became so alarming to me, the many of teachers and educators that were leaving the field because of stress, because of personal life, because of being overworked, underpaid, just leaving their passion and their profession and not being fulfilled. And so it got me to thinking, let's start a company, let's start an educational resource where teachers can get the strategies that they need to obtain success and not quit. I know, we are all called to do this. We are called here for a purpose. And so I want to help all of you just really get the strategies and the tools to help you thrive and be that thriving educator to achieve classroom harmony. I want to make sure that you are teaching the language to your students, which can be translated to your families, which can be translated back to the administrators, which translated back at home. And that's what the harmony part is all about. Making sure that we all sing that same song in education and in the classroom. So that's a little bit about Teach Incorporated. If you are not connected with me, make sure you follow me right now on Facebook at Teach Incorporated, TEACH Incorporated. That's on Facebook. Also follow Teach with Teacher Toys on Instagram at Dr. Tiffany McDonald. That's Dr. Tiffany McDonald on Instagram, Teach with Teacher Toys. Make sure you go and follow my Teachers Pay Teachers store. It's Teach with Teacher Toys on Teachers Pay Teachers. Teach with Teacher Toys. And all of this will be in the description box below. It will also be in your freebie if you have registered. And then make sure you go ahead and follow me over on Pinterest. It is Teach Incorporated, Teach, INC on Pinterest as well. I do a lot of pins. I do a lot of posts as well, a lot of reels over there. So definitely connect with me on all platforms. Let's connect, let's network, let's share ideas because I want to help you ease the stress to your success. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So today's first class in our back to school series, it's all about the syllabus. Now, many teachers, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and many teachers have come to me privately or in a comment asking, how do you write a syllabus? What do you look for in this syllabus? What goes in a syllabus? And so this is what prompted me to have this class. So in this class, your learning objective will be upon completion of this class, you will be able to identify what a course or class syllabus is, understand its importance and its purpose of a class syllabus, and identify and apply the elements of a class syllabus and create your very own class syllabus, as we are just now going back into the classroom after a very restful, much needed summer break. I know many administrators and many principals are asking for a course syllabus, a class syllabus, and I want to give you the good goods. I want to give you the goods to help you and develop that class syllabus so that you can have that winning syllabus, that successful syllabus that can translate into successful students. Well, that is our learning objective. Student teachers will be able to identify, understand, and apply the knowledge and understanding of a class syllabus and be able to create a winning and successful class syllabus for their school year. That is our learning objective. Our essential question is, and a lot of you are teachers and you know essential questions, our essential question by the end of this course, you will be able to describe and explain a course syllabus for your particular grade level and explain the purpose and the elements of that course syllabus. Again, your essential question is to describe and explain the importance of a course syllabus and the elements included in that course syllabus. All right, let's get it started. Remember, if you are joining me live for today's class, make sure you let me know that you are live for today's class. If you are joining the replay, make sure you hashtag replay because we love our replay game. Make sure you introduce yourself in the comments with your name, where you teach, what grade and subject you teach, and the best thing about teaching that you love. Again, if you have not registered for today's class, make sure you click the link in the comments. Register for the class. Registration will end at 11:59 tonight. So if you have not registered for $11.59 tonight, you will no longer be able to register for this free class. Registration is important because that is how you're going to get your freebie for this class. All right, let's get into it. As more teachers jump on, just go ahead and let me know who you are in the comments, and I'll make sure I greet you properly. So, the course syllabus. Your course syllabus is a typically one pager, front and back, or if you don't like front and back, it could be a two pager. It's a roadmap. It's a guide to your course or to your class. And for the purposes of this class, I'm going to be speaking on ELA, but you can write a course syllabus for ELA, for math, for science, for social studies, for gym, for art, for tech, for specials, whatever class you teach, you can definitely write a course syllabus. It is your guide. It is your roadmap. It is what your students, what your families will use to stay on track of your class. It will help you as well stay organized and structured in your class. It will provide the expectations, the rules and regulations, the policies that are centered in your class. So it is basically your calm before the storm. You know, those parents that will come to you in the middle of the school year or report card time talking about, well, why little Johnny got an F? Or he can't turn in makeup work. And you can refer back to the course syllabus sent out on the first day, first week of school, and say, well, according to my course syllabus, the homework classwork policy is stated here. Or if there's a big project due and you know the parents want to know what the rubric or what the grading scale is, refer back to your syllabus. So it is your handy dandy tool that will help keep you accountable, help keep your parents accountable, help keep your families accountable during the school year. It provides control over your class. So it sets the tone. It sets the stage of how you want your class to run. So your class syllabus is the summary of your class, whether it's ELA, which is English, language arts, reading, whether it's math, writing, science, social studies, tech, intervention, whatever class you teach, it is your guide, your roadmap to how you want your class structured. It's the driving force to your class. It's the policies, the procedures, the rules and regulations that structure your class, and it provides the control. It's also the accountability tool for not just yourself, but your parents and your families, because we all know those parents are going to come at the end of the quarter or the semester all irate because they don't understand why you gave their child the grade that you gave them. So your class syllabus is very important. What you put in your class syllabus, which is what we're going to get into in a moment, is very important. It's going to be what you need to basically CYA, cover yourself. I'm not going to say the last word, but cover yourself when it comes to a parent-teacher conference. It's going to be what you need to keep you protected. If your principal comes to you and say, well, this parent is upset about X, Y, and Z, and you can say, well, my course syllabus, which was given to them and they signed, and I'll get to that in a moment, is here. I like to always keep a copy of my course syllabus. I make a couple of different copies. I have my original copy that I give out to my students. I make a copy for myself that I sign and date. And then I have my students bring back a copy that they sign and their parents and or family members sign. And I keep all of that in a file for every single child. Now, mind you, I teach 4 grades. I teach 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. So yes, that's a lot of folders. But I will say I've never had a parent complain to me about their child's grade, why their grade is what it is, why I took points off for not having a pencil or paper, because it's all in the syllabus. So your syllabus, in essence, is your contract. It's your contract between your teachers, your parent, your student, your families. So that goes into why a class syllabus is important. It's important because it's the communication tool between everyone. It's how you communicate what's going on in your classroom, because you are there, your students are there. And we all know if you teach elementary and or middle school like myself, students are not always honest. They're not always honest. They're not going to go home and say, well, my homework was late, but Miss McDonald did tell me that I couldn't turn in late work. They're not going to say that. they're going to go home and say, my homework is late and Miss McDonald won't let me turn it in. But if you have that class syllabus, you could say, well, Johnny, it says in the syllabus that Miss McDonald gave you the first week of school, you can't turn in your late homework after such and such date. So it's a communication tool. It also serves as your resource, what the class is about, what is happening in your class, what's going to be taking place. It's kind of the big picture or the main idea for all the English teachers out there. It's your main idea summarized in details for your course. So your class syllabus is very important. It's important to the needs of your students. It's important to the needs of your families. And it just keeps you accountable for your course and for your class. So that goes into the elements of a course syllabus. And I'm going to give you 7 different elements for your course syllabus. 7 elements. Let me take a pause for the cause. If you are just now joining me, welcome to Teach Outside the Box. I'm your educator's favorite educator, the education specialist, Miss McDonald, coming to you from our first official day in our Teach Outside the Box back to school series. It's all in the syllabus. I am the founder of Teach Incorporated, where I help thriving educators achieve classroom harmony. Let's teach y'all. I am here to let's teach you about how to create and write that winning syllabus. If you are a teacher just now joining me, make sure you introduce yourself in the comments. Put your name, where you teach, what grade and subject you teach, and the best thing about teaching. If you have not registered for this class, make sure you click the link in the comments and make sure you register for this class to get your freebie. Only those attendees that register will get their freebie. Your freebie will include the notes from this class. It will also include a sample preview syllabus that I created myself, as well as a syllabus template. So you're going to get a PDF version and you're going to get a Canva link where you can go and edit your course template only. You will only be able to edit the template part only. You won't be able to edit anything else. So you only get that if you register. We just talked about what a class syllabus is. We talked about why it's important. And now we're going to go into the third part of today's class, which is the elements, the most important pieces of your course syllabus. As we said, the course syllabus as a whole is the main idea, the main purpose of your class. Now we're going to analyze that and break that down into 7 different parts. What you need to be successful this school year. The first thing you need is a course overview. You need to tell your families, your students, what is your class all about? What is ELA all about? What are you expecting them to learn? So in my course syllabus, I typically give them just a brief 3 or 4 sentences. ELA, we are going to be learning how to become critical thinkers, critical readers, and critical writers this school year. We're going to go through and analyze and synthesize informative text, literature text, and learn how to write 5-paragraph essays. And we're also going to understand the fundamentals of spelling, language, grammar, to be able to put all of that together to be that critical reader, writer, and thinker. Now, that's not verbatim in my syllabus. That's kind of, I paraphrase, but that's kind of what you want to have in your course overview. You want to give them a brief synopsis of what they can expect in your classroom, what your families can expect, because your parents are not there. So they're just reading this. So you want to make sure that your course overview is very detailed, it's very specific, and it's very straight and to the point. You don't want to have your parents or your teachers or even your administrators guessing about your course. You want to make sure that it's very detailed and they can understand it. So your course overview. You also want to make sure you have your course expectations. I call these the non-negotiables. What are you not going to tolerate in your class? For me, my non-negotiables is you must be on time. You must be in attendance. You must have all of your supplies. Like that is a must. So we cannot get away from that. You must be prepared. You must take notes. If I'm talking, you're writing. If we're discussing, you're engaging and participating. So you want to make sure you have those course expectations, those non-negotiables. I typically recommend between 5 to 7 if you are in middle school. I mean, this can be applied to elementary, but it's a little bit, it may vary in elementary. But for middle school, I recommend 5 to 7 expectations. And for high school, I recommend 7 to maybe 10 expectations. These are the things you're absolutely not going to tolerate in your class. Here's what you expect of your students and what your students will expect of you. So you want to have your course overview. That's number one. Your course expectations. That's number two. Number three, you want to give your students and your families a list of the supplies. So if your non-negotiable is to be prepared, well, then tell them what they need to be prepared. For me, I say they must have a binder. Their binder must be divided into 5 subjects, and I give them what those five sections are. I tell them they must have a pen and or pencil or a highlighter or a dictionary or a thesaurus. If you're doing journal writing, you want to tell them to have a composition notebook. So whatever, and then lots of paper. But we go through a lot of paper because we do a lot of writing. So you want to make sure you tell them exactly what you want them to be prepared with every single day if that's your non-negotiable. So number one, the element of a course syllabus is your overview, a synopsis of what your class is all about, very specific, very detailed. Number two is your expectations, your non-negotiables. What are you not going to tolerate and or accept in your class? Number three, what do they need to be prepared? Your supply list. Number four, you want to make sure you include the learning objectives and your essential question. So you gave them a short synopsis of what your class is about. Now break that down into about three, and I recommend three because we don't want to go too many, but 3 to maybe 5 learning objectives. In this course, students will learn A, B, C, D. This will also give them an idea of, well, okay, here's what we're going to learn. So learning objectives could be, in this course, students will be able to identify, explain, and analyze informative text. Boom. Simple. Number two, students will be able to identify, explain, and analyze literature text if you're doing ELA. Number three, students will be able to identify, explain, and analyze writing a 5-paragraph essay. And of course, these will vary based on the course or the class that you teach. But for me, I'm an ELA teacher, so I'm going to dedicate this to ELA instructors. If you're a math teacher, students will be able to identify how to read, analyze, and understand word problems. Students will be able to identify numbers and operations. Students will be able to identify how to create or how to solve algebraic expressions. So based on your course, based on the parameters of what your administrator, your principal has set for your class, center that around your learning objective. Your essential question is just basically kind of mirroring your learning objective, but it's a little bit more specific. Students will be able to identify, analyze informative text. The essential question, what is an informative text? So you really want to be detailed and very specific in your course syllabus. You don't want to leave any gray area. You don't want to leave anything for your students and your families to figure out. So quick recap. Element number one of a course syllabus is your course overview, your synopsis. Number two, your expectations or your non-negotiables. Number three, the class supplies. Number four, your learning objectives and your essential question. Number five is your reading list. Now, this can vary. Reading list can be either your textbooks, if you are still using physical textbooks or digital textbooks, any resources that you are using in your class, and or either the books that your students will be reading during the school year. So you want to make sure you include your textbooks in your syllabus. And again, this can vary if you are teaching math, if you're teaching science or social studies. So you want to include your reading list. Number 6, you want to make sure you include your homework and grading policy. This is very key for your families, especially when it comes to the end of the school year, end of the semester, and report cards are coming out, progress reports are coming out. You want to make sure you include, how are you accepting homework? How are you sending homework home? When is homework due back? How is it being due back? Is it being due back by email? Is it due back at the beginning of class, the middle of class, end of class? Or like for me, homework is a special central location in my classroom. So in my homework policy, students will know they are to drop their homework off in their designated color bin. That should be stated in your syllabus. You also want to make sure you include the grading policy. So, how are your students going to be graded? For me, I use a mastery grading scale in my classroom. So, 90 to 100 is above mastery. Um, Average mastery is 70 to 75%. Mastery is 80 to 85%. Below mastery is 60% or below. So it still follows my school's grading scale, but I kind of tweaked it just a little bit in my classroom. Remember, this is teach outside the box. So just because you're a teacher, your administrative staff say you have to use the ABCD scale, you can tweak that to fit you. So I still use the ABCD scale, but I want to make sure my students have mastered my content. So I won't put A on there, but I'll put 90% and I'll put above mastery. So that way, my administrative staff, this is the secret, y'all, my administrative staff sees that I'm following the grading scale of the school, but I'm also seeing in my classroom that they have mastered or not mastered the content. And then lastly, of course, you want to make sure you include your contact info. That's your email, your school phone number. Do not put your home phone number or your cell phone number on your syllabus. That is your personal information. Your school email, your school phone number, and if you use Class Dojo or Remind or Class Tag, you can include that information as well. I use Remind for my students, so I normally put connect with Miss McDonald, and I'll put the information on how they can connect with me. So those are your 7 elements. I'll recap. You want to make sure you have a course overview. You want to make sure you have the course expectations, your non-negotiables. You want to make sure you have your class supplies, your learning objectives and essential questions, your reading list or course textbooks or any resources. And this can even be resources that you're sending home to parents as well. You want to make sure you include the homework and the grading policy, which is very, very key and going to be very important and will save you a lot of headache come end of quarter, end of semester. And then your contact info. So there it is, y'all. It's all in the syllabus. Your syllabus will help you to ease the stress and help you obtain success this school year. We know we have been through some trying times over the last few years, teaching through COVID, teaching through pandemic, teaching virtually, hybrid, in person, all the things. So this year, we want to make sure that no teacher is left behind, no teacher is left feeling stressed. So I am coming to you. It is your educator's favorite educator, Miss Tiffany McDonald, CEO and founder of Teach Incorporated, helping thriving educators achieve classroom harmony. Let's teach. It's all in the syllabus. I have given you the description and explanation of a course syllabus. I have identified why it's important, why you need a course syllabus, what do you need, and what do you need in your course syllabus. So I think I have achieved my learning goal for today. I have answered your essential question. If you have any questions, definitely drop them in the comments. I will go back and read and reply to comments as well as related to this course. If you are not subscribed to Teach Outside the Box, make sure you click that subscribe button right here, somewhere in the corner. Click the subscribe button. Make sure you ring the bell because we're going to be coming to you each and every Friday with a different subject. For this month is our back to school series. So next week, we're going to be talking about creating a conducive classroom culture. The third week, we're going to be talking about building that student relationship. And the fourth week, we're going to be talking about classroom management. Manage your class, don't let your class manage you. So that is our back to school series. So definitely you want to make sure you subscribe. You want to make sure you ring the bell, like, comment, share this out to any teacher friends, teacher besties, educators, teacher assistants, paraprofessionals, anyone you know in either elementary, middle school, and high school. And definitely share this information out. This is our free class today. Our next one may or may not be free, but I want to make sure I give you engaging content. And so if it's not free, it will be affordable to all teachers. You will always receive a mini workbook or a mini ebook or a freebie of some sort to go along with the class. I've had a great time with you. I hope that you do the same. I hope you have enjoyed this class. I hope that you learned something. I hope that I was able to put something on your mind that you can use and take this school year. If you have any questions, connect with me on Facebook at Teach Incorporated on Facebook. Connect with me on Instagram at Dr. Tiffany McDonald. Connect with me on Pinterest, Teach Incorporated, and definitely make sure you go like and follow my Teachers Pay Teachers store at Teach with Teacher Toys on Teachers Pay Teachers. I currently have a back to school sale from today all the way through Sunday. And if you live in Ohio, you know it's a tax-free weekend. So you definitely want to go on to my store, get all of your teaching essentials. I got planners, student planners, teacher planners, sub binders, because I know we all need those sub binders. I have lesson plans, project-based learning activities. You name it, I got it. So definitely go ahead and check it out. I enjoyed you. I am going to end this. I will see you all next week. Registration will begin for next week's class on Monday. Registration will begin for next week's class on Monday. As always, each one teach one so that we can reach one. We are teaching, y'all. Let's teach.